Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of Voice of Radio. So today, I want to bring you a big update about Shrouded Fable. And I think I've figured them all out. I think I know every single secret rare coming in the set. Obviously, it's not confirmed or guaranteed or any of that weird stuff could happen, but we're largely basing this off of the Japanese set Night Wanderer, which is largely going to be Shrouded Fable. Shrouded Fable is Night Wanderer with a few extra things. And although there are a couple of extra secret rares that we're getting that weren't in Shrouded Fable, in all the instances where that happens, we've got something that just makes too much sense to not be the answer. So I'm pretty sure we know them all, even though we're having to take from other sets and sometimes something from like well over half a year ago, but I do think it makes sense and I do think I'm right here. So starting off with illustration rares, we know there's going to be 15. We were told in the press release there are going to be 15 illustration rare Pokemon. And this one, we've got this. We know exactly what the deal is. Because our Shrouded Fable is largely based on Japan's Night Wanderer, but Night Wanderer had 12 illustration rares. Hang on a second, how come there are 12 illustration rares in Night Wanderer and 15 in Shrouded Fable? Well, the answer is because in Twilight Masquerade, they left out 3 illustration rares. They left out the illustration rares of Munkidori, Okidogi, and Pheasantdipty. The ones that came around in Mask of Change. And look, we know that the 4 booster packs are the Loyal Free and Petulant. We know that Night Wanderer is a set based on the Loyal Free and Petulant, and that Shrouded Fable is taking that one on. I suppose it's technically not actually confirmed yet. No, I'm not buying that for a second. We know that these 3 are going to be in the set. It makes so much sense. Take these out of Twilight Masquerade. They fit thematically into Shrouded Fable absolutely perfectly, and then it ups the number from 12 to 15, and in a special set like this, you want to try adding in a few more special cards. As a side note, the Munkidori by T-Zero is not only the best artwork among them, I adore this one, but remember Munkidori was like the card of NAIC. The big story of the North American International Championships was Gardevoir crushing, and the reason Gardevoir got so much better is because of Munkidori. So make no mistake about it, this is a pretty big deal, and being able to have access to this card finally, people are going to absolutely adore. In terms of the other illustration rares then, there are a dozen illustration rares in Night Wanderer. We're getting those. We are getting the Tapu Bulu, which is, you know, Tapu Bulu, chilling, it's quite nice. We are getting the Houndoom, who are apparently chasing a Heracross, which is a pretty big deal. We are getting the Horsey, which, absolutely stunning card, love this one, Komatsu again, crushing it. We are getting the entire Dust Noir line by James Turner, which, firstly, they're stunning cards. Secondly, they're getting closer as you got the Evolution line, from chilling on the street to hiding over the hedge to literally outside your door, which I think is really fun. I love the art design on those cards. We've got the Cresselia just kind of chilling, flying around. The Zorua just kind of chilling on top of a temple. Note that the end of the wooden bits on the temple have the darkness symbol on, which is just awesome. We got Q-Font washing itself. We've got Fraxia, yeah, the middle evolution. I don't know why they do this sometimes. We've got Persian, kind of sitting, chilling, looking out over the city, or staring at its reflection in the window, we don't know. Shout out to the artist Whisker for drawing that one. Love it. And then Beware in one of the very best illustration rares we've seen so far. I think it is absolutely stunning and brilliant and awesome, and I love it. Big fan, cannot speak highly enough about it. Cool. So that's Beware. And all the other illustration rares. We got 15, we feel very good about this. We're then told there are going to be 10 ultra rare Pokemon EX, Terra Pokemon EX, and supporter cards. And again, this makes perfect sense, because there were 10 in combination of Pokemon and supporter cards in Night Wanderer. So I suppose technically we don't have to take the same 10, but the set is largely based on Night Wanderer. There were 10 in Night Wanderer. There's confirmed 10 in Shrouded Fable. I mean, come on, ladies and gentlemen. Put 2 and 2 together. And we got 6 Pokemon and 4 supporter cards. So in terms of Pokemon, we've got the loyal 3. We got Okidogi, Munkidori, and Fezandipiti. Although things switch around at this point. So at this stage, Munkidori, the worst of them, it's just not a very good card. It's got an ability that says it only gives up 1 prize if Pecharunt's in play, rather than 2. But then it's got like 3 energy, 190 can attack next turn. It's rubbish. Okidogi I was high on, but looking at the prices and the buzz coming out of Japan, people are not as high as I am on this one. This is, 3 energy, 130, but 260 if you're poisoned, and you can bring it up to like 340 and KO anything without that much effort. And then you've got Fezandipiti, which is by far the big one. Like, by a huge margin, the big one. If you go and have a look, and I showed you the most expensive cards from the set the other day, if you go and have a gander at those ones, it is clearly Fezandipiti who is the best of these EXs. Most expensive special illustration rare, most expensive full art, just generally all around the biggest one of them. And it's actually getting to the point with Fezandipiti now where the regular version of it is more expensive than most of the full arts in the set. It's got the same ability as the old Oricorio, which is to say, if one of your Pokemon was KO'd during your opponent's last turn, you get to draw 3 cards. Doesn't stack, doesn't matter. Great card. So this is going to be the big one. If you pull a full art, this is the one you want to pull. This is a pretty... Same with Special Illustration Rare, honestly. This is the one you want to pull. Elsewhere, we've got Pecharunt, who kind of completes our quartet here. It's got a nice little ability, lets you switch to the active if you're Darkness and Poison, and then an attack that for 2 energy does 60 damage for each prize card your opponent's taken. That adds up pretty quickly. And then we got the other 2 EXs, which is your Revavroom and your Kingdra. Revavroom, as a side note, only Terra Pokemon in the set. It's got a really nice attack for a single energy that does 140 if it became active this turn. Plus, it's a lightning Pokemon that attacks for metal energy, and it's one to keep an eye on, certainly. We've then also got Kingdra that... Look, I want to like Kingdra. Single energy, you get to play 2 water Pokemon from your discard pile. Bearing in mind they can be any stage, but it's not actually good, and it's not going to be good, and I'm sorry. And then we've got 4 supporter cards. Now, we got Janine and... Well, it's not actually Penny, it's Cassiopeia. Spoiler alert, I suppose. That are the 2 biggest ones here. They are pretty gosh darn cool. Cassiopeia is popular. Janine's the one that can accelerate 2 energy from your deck, 1 to each of 2 different Darkness Pokemon. And if you go to your active, they're poisoned, which is awesome. And then Cassiopeia lets you search for any 2 cards. If it's the only card in your hand, it's fine. And we've got Colrus and Xerosic, which is kind of awesome. And Xerosic especially makes your opponent discard until they've got 3 cards in hand. That's pretty cool. Xerosic searches any stadium and energy, including special energy, which is fine. But I think it's fair to say that, so far, it's not doing as well. So there's all of your full arts. We're then told over in the press release, officially confirmed all of that, 5 special illustration rare Pokemon and supporter cards. Well, we got special illustration rares of the Loyal 3. I've already told you what you need to know about them as cards, but now we got the special illustration rares. Once again, Fezandipiti is by far the best of them. That is the one you want to pull. Value-wise, it's miles above the other 2. And also, they're all done by the same artist. They're all stunning cards. I want the trio. The quartet of Ogerpon back in Twilight Masquerade, I was like, meh, take it or leave it. But this trio, oh, I like these very much indeed. We've then got Pecharunt, which I'm not loving the design. It's fine, it's nothing special. And then we've also got the special illustration rare of Cassiopeia, the only supporter card, incidentally, in the set, which is getting a special illustration rare. But interestingly, over in Japan, it's still Fezandipiti. That is the most sought after of them. Cassiopeia cannot compete. It's close, admittedly, but Fezandipiti still wins. But then we get to the last part of the press release, and this is where I get confused. 5 hyper rare gold etched cards. Well, we can look at Shrouded Fable and we can go, well, alright then. You got Pecharunt. You've got Power Hourglass, which is a new card, lets you attach an energy from discard pile to your active Pokemon at the end of your turn if this is attached to it. And then we've got Earthen Vessel, which is actually probably the biggest card in the set, actually, because it's super popular, because it's a gold version of a very playable card. Okay, no, it's not quite the biggest, so 2 special illustration rares still beat it, but still, it's up there with Cassiopeia, probably just behind Pheasant Dipty, alright? But the point is, those are the 3 gold cards we're expecting. Let's go back. Let's go back through the Scarlet and Violet block to see which gold cards we're missing. Which gold cards could we have gotten in previous sets that we don't have? And look, we do have some missing gold cards, okay? Because if we go back to the early days, in Scarlet and Violet, we got your gold, metal, and lightning energy. That was a thing, we got them. In Paldea Evolved, we got gold, grass, and water energy. In Obsidian Flames, we got gold, fire energy. And then in 151, we did get your gold psychic energy. And that was it. But actually, there's only 2 missing. We didn't. But in Temporal Forces, we should have gotten the gold, metal, and darkness energy. Those are 2 cards that are missing. There are, and believe me, I have spent way too long last night and this morning looking into this. That seems weird. Now, I will contend, Darkness Energy in Shrouded Fable makes perfect sense. It is a darkness-focused set. But metal? I mean, essentially what they've got is this. We stopped doing that in Temporal Forces. Yeah, we probably need to get them in at some point. Hey, we've only got 2 gold cards in this set. Oh, nice. One of them's dark. That actually makes perfect sense. Yeah, but actually, as Paradox Rift, they should have been in. Yeah, but okay. The metal doesn't really make much sense. Shush. We figured it out. Leave us alone. That is the best I can do here. It feels like a very unsatisfying answer that these are the last 2 secret rare gold cards, but I'm telling you, I've had a good old look. We are missing exactly 2 gold cards. In terms of released in Japan, not released here. And we're missing exactly 2 gold cards in terms of we need 2 more gold cards to Shrouded Fable, and these are there. And Darkness does work thematically, so I think I've figured it out. It's just a little unsatisfying. So there we go. All the secret rares from Shrouded Fable, and now you know what you can get excited about. It's not quite as simple as, just use Night Wanderer, because of course we've got the extra gold cards and the extra illustration rares, but the good news is I've spent way too long looking into this, so you don't have to. You can just start looking forward to whichever cards we get. And I would like to know which of the cards you're looking forward to, so let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel, like the lovely Evan Parker, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and seems to be a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.